So there's a true power partner connection that works both ways. You give your power partners leads and referrals, and they give you leads and referrals, correct?
Correct. Absolutely.
Oh, well, that's that's the definition of our business
Uh-huh.
model.
I know where you always are, hanging
Welcome
in the
to B2B Synergy, the Power Partners USA podcast, your exclusive guide to discovering the potential of B2B partnerships. I'm Alan Armijo, owner of Power Partners USA business to business introduction and referral service. Our members are B2B professionals who team up to provide each other repeat referral business or collaboration. Today's episode shines a light on our member, Pauline Field, owner of PaulineField.com. Pauline, I'm really looking forward to this conversation in order to get an understanding of your very unique and interesting business in helping people who are contemplating retirement.
Thank you, Alan. Yes, I'm looking forward to it too. It's a very important topic. And with 10,000 people turning 65 every day in this country, it's becoming more and more of an important topic.
Okay, so why don't you start out by explaining what services you provide?
Sure. I provide personal coaching, one-on-one, group coaching, and coming soon, we will have some on-demand, self-paced coaching programs that people can just download and work at their own pace. It's all designed for you to really plan your retirement years such that they are happy and joyful because we've earned it. We've worked 30 or 40 years, and the myth of retirement is that, you just stop working and it's party for the rest of the time.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the type of person who typically comes to you for retirement consulting or coaching.
Okay, there's really two different types of people. One is the professional, the executive people who've had a really satisfying career and they're nearing their retirement age and they either can't wait to leave, but don't know what to do and see it somewhat as a black hole, or they just don't want to retire because they love what they do and, do they need to retire? Then the other demographic are business owners because they've spent however many years, whether it's their whole career or the last 10 years, building a business and they love it. Their whole life is wrapped up in their business. And the thought of not being in the business is like, well, why would I do that? But then they have things that they really do want to do other than run the business. So those are the two real demographics of who really wants and needs my services. Occasionally, there are people who have considerable concerns and anxieties about retirement, and the upcoming self-paced programs are going to be perfect for them.
Can you tell me the three common reasons why people need retirement consulting?
Well, the first one is because they don't know what they would do. They really don't. They've been so consumed by their career, whatever it looks like, and that it's like, well, I have no idea what I would do. And they don't have any equal consuming desire that is not around their work. So, that's one of the main things. Along with that goes the question of how would I find any meaning in my life? Why get up in the morning? Why get dressed in the morning? So that's a very big one that's connected to the work. And then another equally large one is all the people I connect with, I engage with are my colleagues, whether you own your own business or work for a company. You probably because you are so consumed with your business and who you identify as is your professional persona, your work persona, that you really haven't made a lot of social contacts, or if you have, maybe they've moved away, they've, gone on to different things and they're just not there anymore. And if you've raised a family, they've probably left and gone off and are doing their own thing. So there's also the question of, okay, well, what am I going to do if I'm at home? If you're a single person, it's like, okay, all I got is the four walls and maybe my cat. But even if you're married or partnered, there's still the question of, all right, well, we're going to drive each other nuts if it's just the two of us. Who am I going to do anything with and engage with? But these are very big questions.
So when they approach you and talk to you, how do you address those issues for them? And what do you provide, or how do you break it down that answers those questions or solves their problems?
Really, what I do is I start to ask questions that poke in to find out what are their values. Do they have any kind of a vision? And it's not that they have a vision, because a lot of people don't. They don't have a vision for retirement and those years of their life. And I also ask them to look at years past, whether it's, the last few years or maybe in their adolescence. They love to play guitar or garden, and they couldn't make a career of those kind of things. So they just gave it up, or, haven't done anything. But when they look at that, yeah, I really used to like that, then they can get excited about something to at least take a look at. Is that something that they now want to pursue? Because one of the things that I work with people on is that you've been responsible. You've had the career. You've made the money you've needed to support yourself, your family, if you have one. And, and now you're looking at time where you get to call all the shots.
So you help people flesh it out, because it sounds like what you're doing is what people, when they're either starting their careers or changing their careers, they're not happy with their job, or they don't know what they're going to go into for a career, or they just have this unknown
Mhm.
feeling where, like, I don't know what I'm good at. I don't know what I should be doing, or and they kind of wander. So apparently that happens in retirement too. It seems like with regard to, even should I stop working or scaling back? To me, scaling back seems pretty cool. Just because
Right.
you haven't let go totally, but you're not 100% in it, right?
Absolutely. And, one of the myths about retirement is that you stop working. And if you love what you do, why? Why do you need to do that? My main career was as a management consultant, and there was some coaching in that. And when I looked at, okay, what do I want to do? Uh,
What's a management consultant?
I worked with both large corporations to have them work more effectively and efficiently, save them money. And then I also worked with small business owners to help them grow their businesses. So I did that for 30 plus years and coached a lot of people, as well as the consulting side. So after my vacation phase, when I had, thrown away the alarm clock and the suits and didn't have to do reports and so on, then it's like, okay, what do I want to do? And I looked at that. I enjoyed the consulting while I was doing it, but I just did not want to get back into that. But I looked at that coaching was something that I did always enjoy. And I worked with one client to help her retire. And about halfway through, she said, this is so wonderful. I'm getting so much out of this. You ought to do this to, offer it to other people because there's a lot of people like me out there. And I thought about it and I thought, that's not a bad idea. So I took the part of my career that I enjoyed and I used it to create my retirement position, so that I still have all the time that I need to do all the fun things of retirement. And I spend, a certain amount of my time helping people in this way. And so I'm very satisfied and fulfilled. And that's what I help other people with is what does it look like for you? And it doesn't have to be making money. It could be taking a skill that you really enjoy and seeing how you can use it in the volunteer world.
Well, the way you make it sounds pretty simple and straightforward, but people just don't see it, I guess, until you sit down with them. Let's talk a little bit about that. Do you do one-on-one or group, or how do you work with your clients individually, let's say?
Okay, so if first I have them complete a written assessment, because that tells me quite a bit about this current situation. And then I have a discovery call with them where, I ask them some specific questions. They tell me what they're looking for and what their main concern or concerns are. And then if we're going to work one-on-one, I create a 3-month plan of, okay, so you're here and you want to get to here and we'll work together for 3 months, once a week and get you from A to B. And then we decide on the time and so on, and we'll get to work.
Is it primarily one-on-one?
I actually am moving away from the one-on-one. The groups that I have they're a lot of fun, and the people in them get so much from engaging with the other people in the group, other ideas, the experience that each has is really informative for the others. And so that's really, it seems to be very helpful for people. Plus it's less expensive. So
And then explain how, like any other package programs or on your own pace, how does that work?
how that works is I will be putting out a series of 9 classes and the equivalent of what I would do face to face with people, but there are workbooks, there are videos, there are, exercises for them to do, examples for them to listen to, and they can answer the questions for themselves. So how do you create your vision of what you want your retirement to look like? So the first one is an overview and an introduction, and it talks about all the major questions that really need to be addressed. And some people don't need much work in one or two of them, but need them in all the rest, or vice versa. Maybe they're fine, except that major one of what to do. Or another major one is, well, I'm single, I've got these challenges. What do I do about that? So, that way people can pick and choose what's really most important to them. And they can buy just one class or they can pick and choose different packages.
Are people pretty open with each other in the groups?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I make it a very safe space. And so yes, they are very open.
Well, how about when it comes to, because we talked before and it seems like finances are a big part of retirement, obviously. How do people open up to you in a group when it comes to finances, or how do you get people to talk about finances? When does that come in and how is that approached?
Yeah. We only look at that from the viewpoint of, do you have your finances in order? Are you clear that you have sufficient funding for the lifestyle you want for your expected lifespan? And if the answer is yes, that's the end of the conversation. If the answer is, well, maybe, or I'm not sure, then the discussion is, okay, here's a list of financial advisors. Go talk to them. You need to speak to a financial advisor. And if there is something specific, I will refer them to a specific person. But usually I give them a list of people. I say, you need to talk to at least 2 or 3 to find somebody that fits for you, but you need to talk to them. And that's all we do. So in the group, we don't talk about specific finances.
Okay, so they don't have to get into the nitty-gritty of their financial makeup.
No, not at all, because we don't handle the financial aspect. And there are, if you put in a search engine, retirement coach or coaching, you'll get page after page after page of financial advisors.
Mm-hmm.
Because when people think of retirement coaching, that's what they think of. And there's a few of us who are really trying to say that's not all. There's a whole lot more to think about. Than the finances. Finances are critical. They're very important. There's a whole lot more.
What are the areas of specialization, or what differentiates you from your competition?
But it is a fairly unique service at this point. There is some competition, but it's so rare. It's as I said, it's really hard to find. The retirement coaching, people think finances, period. They rarely think of anything else. They don't know that there's anybody out there dealing with anything else.
So that's the main differentiator, is the fact that you delve into things besides the finances.
Exactly.
Okay. And what was that aha moment when, like, that people get, or is when do you know that you reach them?
When they realize that, oh, okay. So retirement can be fulfilling. It can be fun. I can actually do the things I want to do. Oh, it's my time. Oh, okay. Okay. There are choices. Oh, okay.
It sounds to me like when you go on a vacation, say you go to a beach in some faraway land, and I'm talking about an island or something, and you realize that I don't need the phone. I don't need the laptop. And you just kind of live your life, right? You just kind of enjoy what you're doing at that point.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. To be able to go on a vacation and not have to worry about, do I need to answer those emails? Do I need to take that call about making sure everything's going to run smoothly? What a gift.
That's a freedom.
It is. It's total freedom.
Yeah, I like that. So let's talk about your client makeup a little bit, just to kind of drill down into the people that you're typically working with on average.
Yeah. So mostly they are people who, it breaks down into two places. One, the group who I love to work with because they're not yet retired and they realize that, a little planning could be useful. So those people are generally right around 60, between 60 and 65. Sometimes I get some younger, but between 60 and 65 is when they realize, oh my goodness, it's coming up, whether it's a mandatory retirement or just that they get to retire. And they're starting to realize, I I don't know anything about this. The other group of clients are those who didn't plan or who didn't know how to plan. And they are retired between 1 and 5 years of retirement. And they're at a point where, they've done the vacation phase and they're now looking at that they're healthy, they've got energy, and they have no clue what to do. And they don't want to continue to just have the days go by and not really realize that they've done it.
And how do business owners, are they in one of the groups or are they their own set?
Definitely their own set because they can be any age because business owners tend to just be very vibrant up until, their 80s, still going to work every day and loving it. But somewhere along the way, along the continuum, they are saying, well, at some point, I'm going to want to do something else. I'm not going to want to spend 60, 70 hours a week on my business. But maybe I don't know if I want to give it up altogether. What do we do? And is there somebody I can talk to about this? And that's where I come in, is at that stage, because if they want to sell their business, if they really just want out, then that doesn't happen overnight. And I don't help them with that. I get them ready to where it's appropriate for them to talk to a business broker who can help sell the business. But whatever it is they decide they want to do, I work with them to say, okay, let's figure this out. Are you looking at 1 year, 5 years, 10 years? And what do you want? Do you want to be out completely? Do you want to still be involved? What is it you want? And then if whatever scenario, what will you do? In other words, the why of why you want to get out of your business.
Okay. So, as a reminder to everybody, Power Partners USA is a B2B introduction service. We introduce business professionals to each other who can provide each other repeat leads or referrals or do business collaboration. We are target marketing this podcast to your Power Partners, Pauline, to bring you more repeat referral business. So, who are your Power Partners? Who does give you repeat business?
Well, financial professionals, for one, and financial advisors, uh, and CPAs, people who are working with the people on their retirement plans from the financial side of things. Then estate planners, particularly estate planning attorneys, who, when they're working with somebody on their will or their trust, they know where that person is and are very good referral sources in being able to say, well, I know somebody who can help you to figure all that out. And so they are good resources. Real estate professionals, because often when people are looking at retiring, they're looking at, what do I do about my house? Do I want this big house? Do I want to downsize? Do I want to move? So real estate professionals are very good referral sources. Travel agents are good resources because the first phase of being retired is that vacation phase. And a lot of people use travel agents to go have that fun. And they refer me their clients because they know their clients are looking at, what do I do after I've done all this travel?
So there's a true power partner connection that works both ways. You give your power partners leads and referrals, and they give you leads and referrals, correct?
Correct. Absolutely.
Oh, well, that's that's the definition of our business
Uh-huh.
model. Um, what what similarities or differences? I know you said that you will give a client a list of financial advisors. Do you grade them, or how do you add somebody to your list? And in a sense, do you see a lot of differences between financial advisors or realtors or
I
estate
do.
planners?
I do. And over the years, when I looked for financial advisors for myself, I talked to a lot of people and developed some criteria for myself. And then when I got into this business, I interviewed a whole lot more people to see, who fits what criteria. So although I have a list of resources, when I'm talking to a client who needs some kind of a professional, I might highlight one or two and say, I think one of these would be best, but here's some others as well.
That's great. Like, how is the communication between your partners started? How do they get to know you?
Well, how they get to know me is when I meet somebody, usually through networking, I have coffee or lunch or breakfast with them, and I get to know them and the kind of clients they really are looking for. I tell them, what I'm doing and who I'm looking for, and we follow up that way. And particularly if I have a particular question, I have a particular client, and I think somebody might be the best person for them, I'll call that professional up and I'll say, look, I got this client. Does this sound like it's a match for you? So I want it to work both ways.
Okay, great. Great. Sounds like great coordination. So, just from our conversation, it looks like you're seeing that your clients could use the help of an estate attorney for wills and trusts. I think you mentioned long-term care insurance is something that comes up.
Right.
Um, Real estate, housing, buying and selling real estate, and then the financial advisor is more like a long-term thing, or how does that? What is the problem or the issue you're seeing when it comes to the finance?
A myriad of issues. From do I have enough to retire? I'm not happy with the financial person I have with my investments. I think I need to find somebody else. Do I really need to keep working in retirement? I'd like to retire, but do I need to keep working? So, there's a variety of questions. And then also, as I talk to financial professionals more over, networking opportunities, I learn more uh, about what they can offer. And when I have a client who has a specific need, I know that, they don't even know what the questions are to ask. And so I can then, because of what I've learned by talking to these financial professionals, I can then say, well, let me have you talk to this person because he or she has some really good ideas on how to invest that are a little different than what I've heard, and I think will be much better for you.
And then the CPA, how does that play in with regard to, is it some of them have money or they're not, like a business owner would already have a CPA. What or how do CPAs play into this?
Well, CPAs give me referrals because they know that their clients need it. But how I give referrals to CPAs is that whether it's a high net worth individual or a business owner, sometimes they don't have the right person as their CPA. And either they're not satisfied or I can see that they're not getting good advice. And so I recommend that they talk to somebody else.
And then another one that probably a lot of people don't see coming is the divorce and family law attorney. Can you explain how that works?
Yeah, unfortunately, seniors are the fastest growing demographic of people getting divorced at this point. So there's lots of people still, particularly older women who might have had minimal careers, for instance. And, or even if they've had a great career, but they left all the finances to their husband, they're really not too sure of things. So I can work with them on providing the right resources. And then also when I'm working with somebody who clearly is ready to let go of their partner or spouse, then, I can have them talk to an attorney, a family law attorney.
Okay. That's great. I don't think did we forget any of the power partners?
I think, well, yeah, other than the travel agents, it's like, when I'm talking to people and they're,
I asked this kind of as a joke, but do travel agents still exist?
yeah, they do. Not everybody wants to just book their own travel, particularly if they want to do any kind of, adventure or exploration or
Mhm.
different types of things. And I have a couple of travel agents that I refer people to because they go above and beyond for their clients. And also they have interesting things tours that they put together that, you know, I let my clients know and they're just delighted.
Okay, I see now. I get it. This has been very helpful in understanding what the kind of the holistic, the overall things that you're delving into with your clients. How do you envision the landscape of retirement coaching evolving in the coming years? As you said, there's people hitting retirement age more and more every year. Do you see more of retirement coaching need or more competition in your case?
Both. I think there is definitely more of a need. It just keeps growing exponentially. And I'm very hopeful that there will be more and more people offering the services that I do and similar services because there is that need. And one of the biggest things, but negative things that happens to people in retirement is that they isolate and they get depressed. And uh, that doesn't have to happen. But so it's something that is so needed. And I think that the industry will rise up to meet it.
Do you offer any free consulting or special offers?
There's the free discovery call and the free assessment, the written assessment. That's what I offer for free. I do with the upcoming self-paced programs, there will be free ebooks. And I also do have a lot of free information on my website, videos, audio podcasts, blogs with a lot of different information.
Great. Well, thank you for your time today. I think this is very enlightening for me. We're looking forward to promoting you inside the network of Power Partners and outside our network on social media and email how we do it.
Great.
So with that, I really appreciate your time.
Well, thank you, Alan. I really appreciate everything you do too. It's
Thank
great.
you.
I'm very happy Jim turned me on to Valcott.
And we're glad to have you.
Thank you.